Hello, all you chit-chatterers and pit-patterers out there. It's Lottie again, Lottie from Magic Box, here working in partnership with the wonderful Chit-Chat Pitter-Pat on the Learning Together and Starting School Together projects. And, I can't believe I'm saying this, it is the last Storytime Sunday. I know, it's gone so quick, so here I am back in my magical storytelling space to share one last story with you. Now, I hear that you have been learning all about mark making together this week, so I thought, yes, we have to end our final Storytime Sunday with a beautiful, beautiful story about a really tiny creature who is brilliant at making marks that people can read, and it comes in very handy. So, are you ready? Let's do it. Make sure you're sitting comfortably, got your feet up. Have a relax and let me share this story with you, the story of the snail and the whale. This is a tale of a tiny snail and a great big grey-blue humpback whale. This is a rock as black as soot, and this is a snail with an itchy foot. There's the rock. There's the tiny, tiny snail. The sea snail slithered all over the rock and gazed at the sea and the ships in the dock. And as she gazed, she sniffed and sighed. Oh, the sea is deep and the world is wide. How I long to sail, said the tiny snail. These are the other snails in the flock. Shall we see? There they all are. These are the other snails in the flock who all stuck tight to the smooth black rock and said to the snail with the itchy foot, "Be quiet, don't wriggle, sit still, stay put." But the tiny sea snail sighed and sniffed, then cried, "Oh, I've got it! I'll hitch a lift." This is the trail of the tiny snail. Shall we see? There it is. The trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail that looped and curled and said, what can it say? Lift wanted around the world. What a clever snail. Who's this? That's right. This is the whale who came one night when the tide was high and the stars were bright, a humpback whale immensely long, who sang to the snail a wonderful song of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves. And this is the tale of the humpback whale. He hurled it out of the starlit sea and said to the snail, "Come sail with me." This is the sea. There it is. This is the sea, so wild and free, that carried the whale and the snail on his tail to towering icebergs and far-off lands with fiery mountains and golden sands. These are the waves that arched and crashed. Oh, so big. Look at those waves that foamed and frolicked and sprayed and splashed the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. And these are the caves beneath the waves. Oh, mysterious looking fish. These are the caves beneath the waves where stripy fish with feathery fins and sharks with hideous toothy grins swam round the whale and the snail on his tail. This is the sky, so vast and high, sometimes sunny and blue and warm. Oh, lovely. But sometimes filled with a thunderstorm, with zigzag lightning flashing and frightening the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. and she gazed at the sky, the sea, the land, the waves and the caves and the golden sand. She gazed and gazed, amazed by it all. And she said to the whale, "I feel so small." But then came the day the whale lost his way. These are the speedboats. Look, they've come to the seaside. These are the speedboats running a race, zigging and zooming all over the place, upsetting the whale with their ear-splitting roar, making him swim too close to the shore. And this is the tide, slipping away. Oh no. And this is the whale, lying beached on the bay. Poor whale. Not enough water. "Quick, off the sand, back to sea," cried the snail. "I can't move on land. I'm too big," moaned the whale. The snail felt helpless and terribly small. Then, "I've got it," she cried, and started to crawl. "I must not fail," said the tiny snail. Now, this is the bell on the school in the bay, ringing the children in from their play. This is the teacher holding her chalk, telling the class, "Sit straight, don't talk." There she is. There's the teacher and the bell and the children, and this, look at this. This is the board, as black as soot, and this is the snail with the itchy foot. "A snail! A snail!" The teacher turns pale. "Look," say the children, "it's leaving a trail." This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail saying, "Save the whale." These are the children running from school. Look, they've brought help. They've brought help. Fetching the firemen, digging a pool, squirting and spraying to keep the whale cool. This is the tide coming into the bay, and these are the villagers shouting hooray as the whale and the snail travel safely away. Yay! Well done, snail. What a brave snail. Back to the dock and the flock on the rock, who said, "How time's flown!" and "Haven't you grown?" And the whale and the snail told their wonderful tale of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves, and of how the snail, so small and frail, with her looping, curling, silvery trail, saved the life of the humpback whale. Then the humpback whale held out his tail, and on crawled snail after snail after snail. And they sang to the sea as they all set sail on the tail of the grey-blue humpback whale. Wow. There they go. All on the tail of the humpback whale. And that is the end of our story today. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. And goodness me, wasn't that snail brave? Brave for getting on the tail of a whale, a lovely whale, but still so brave. And brave for saving the life of the poor whale. Well, there you go. That's what good mark making, good writing, good drawing can do. It could save someone. It can also take you to wonderful, fantastical places, just like stories. So I really hope you've enjoyed these Storytime Sundays. I have loved sharing some of my favourite stories with you. Thank you so much, you wonderful chit-chatterers and pit-patterers. Have a fabulous week, and hopefully I will see you again soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.